Hi, you guys. So this video is about your graded assignment, the Aztec Farming in 2020. Make sure you read the questions so you're familiar with it while you're reading this article. So we're going to click on this blue link right here, and the article is on my left side. I had a split screen so I know what questions they were. So the first question is, how has the COVID-19 impacted supplies of food to the local people of Mexico? So as you read this, it gives you an introduction, but let's count the paragraphs. You got paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the answer for this one would be in 5. The revival of Chinampa farming is due in part to pandemic-related problems in Mexico City's main market, La Centro de Abastos, the largest of its kind in Latin America. Some warehouses have closed, truck traffic has been limited, the people have been getting sick with the virus. The supply chain of producers from around the country has also had to contend with road closures that limited deliveries to the capital and raised prices. So summarize that into complete sentence and put it in here. Now, you can also answer number 2, what method of farming from the Aztecs are local farmers in Mexico using? You can learn that the answer for 2 is also in here when it talks about the revival meaning coming alive, of Chinampa farming is due in part. So we know what Chinampas are by now, which is an ancient method by the Aztecs for farming. So you would provide a complete sentence on number 2, and your answer would be Chinampas, but you need to provide a complete sentence. You can always pause this video at any time, all right? So don't forget this is paragraph 5, okay? So 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11. So paragraph 11 is describe the Chinampas. Okay, that's where your answer is going to be at. So when it says describe the Chinampas, you just don't write down like one sentence. I would say describe it, be a little more detailed. I would at least provide 3 complete sentences. The word Chinampas comes from the Nahuatl chanamilti, meaning a hedge or fence made out of reeds. Mud from the bottom of the canal as well as lake vegetation are piled into this fencing until they reach the surface, creating a fertile and well irrigated place for crops to grow. These favorable conditions make the Chinampas one of the most productive type of agriculture in the world, enabling as many as 7 harvests per year. So you can take this right here, summarize it into number 3. Number 4 is also in here too, right? It asks how many harvests is produced in a year and using the Aztec farming method. It would be 7 harvests per year. It enables 7 harvests per year, but you need to put in a complete sentence. Last question. What is the story of Chinampero Pedro Mendez Rosa? The next paragraph here talks about him. As you can see, his name is mentioned right here, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to read that all the way down. Chinampero Pedro Mendez Rosa has been farming his whole life, and in that time, he's seen generation of farmers leave to find work in the city. They go in search for more money or a more elegant life, he says on a phone call after a day spent mostly harvesting squash. But I've always preferred to be in the field. Mendez Rosa farms the same Chinampas as his father and grandfather, and he eats the food he grows there, only buying products like grains and meat. He started helping out when he was 5 or 6 and really working when he was 13. This October, he'll turn 50. Since COVID-19, Mendez Rosa has been the demand for leafy greens go up, as the orders he normally fills from restaurant and chefs have been put on hold, he is now primarily selling products to individuals and families. The quick changes to business can be challenging, but Mendez Rosa has never been in it for the money. Being a chanapero is a vocation, Mendez says. Mendoza says, "For me, it's a way of life. It's a way of hanging into our tradition and our culture. These floating gardens have been feeding the city for a millennium, in times of sickness and in times of health. And this pandemic has made it clear that they are poised to keep sustaining the city in the future. Traditions continue quietly, a seed buried in fertile ground, small certainties against the future. For this part, Pedro Mendez Rosa prepared again to plant." All right, so you want to summarize what I just talked about, Mr. Mendez Rosa, into number 5. Okay, so when it talks about story, what is the story, I would at least do 3 sentences on that one. All right, but I would take the time to read the whole entire article, and you can always use your purple button here, the read aloud button, to start. Okay. To read it to you if you need to. Okay?
In the south of Mexico City.
Let me know if you need to learn how to add this purple button.
About 100 miles of.
All right. If you have any questions, please let me know.